welcome back, and in this weekly roundup of sim racing news, we've got kicking things off RFactor 2, so a couple of bits on RFactor 2. There's been a new competition system blog post released, so they're talking there about the changes that have been made to the competition system, and they're being quite candid in it, which is good. They talk about what issues they found, what they're doing to resolve them, what's worked, what hasn't worked, so it's progressing quite nicely in that regard, and it's a good sign in my view that they're being open about what has and hasn't worked and where they're facing challenges. We also had a small update hit this week for RFactor 2. It's mainly visual and UI fixes, so nothing major there. Moving on from RFactor, we have F1 2020, and a new patch was released for that as well. Again, this was fairly small, mainly balancing fixes around the different events and the different cars. So once again, absolutely nothing major on that. And speaking of small updates, there was a hotfix for AMS2, which again, mainly just patching up visuals and a few little glitches in there as well. So all in all, in terms of the updates that we've had over the course of this week, most of them have been fairly small and kind of like what you call quality of life type fixes going on there. That's not to say we haven't had some drama over the course of this week, because we certainly have, which it was around basically a modding house, one that charges and has a fairly poor reputation in the Assetto Corsa scene, basically ripped an iRacing mod, the M4 GT3 mod that came out recently for iRacing, and converted it over to Assetto Corsa. I don't think many people would have batted too much of an eyelid about it if it wasn't for the fact that basically they charged people for it. Safe to say that's now been taken down, and if you want to know the full story and my thoughts on the ethics of modding within sim racing, click on the link down in the description, as well as links for all of the updates I've just talked about. And then finally, we've got some new images released for Dakar 21, which is coming at an unknown point later on this year. This is one that I'm actually quite looking forward to. I really liked Dakar 18. It was a flawed title, but being perfectly honest, it still had a hell of a lot going for it. And despite its many flaws and wild inconsistency, I mean, the bikes and quads and a few other bits were not good to play, but if you stuck to the buggies, cars and trucks, they were all pretty good, in all honesty. But Dakar 21, new images released, so that's what you're looking at, or have been looking at now. And what I'll do is I will get these, I'll link to these posted down below as well. Now, in terms of content and what you've been looking at here, the track I'm sure you'll be fairly familiar with is the Scuba track from Japan, but the car, in quote marks, is the Pessio Garage Ape Proto Terrorcarro Beta. It's basically a Piaggio Ape, little three-wheeler, heavily modified and made a lot quicker with a fantasy racing component bolt-on mix for it, and it makes for a fun little mess about. It is in beta, but you can pick it up at Race Department, and I'll drop a link to that down below, so you can have a play around with that. It's by Pessio Garage, who, quite frankly, it's an excellent studio, one that does produce their mods from scratch, unlike the one I was talking about earlier, so I thought I'd give them a bit of a showcase in this. Go and have a look at the Ape, have a play around with it, download the rest of their mods and have fun with it. As well as the link for the Ape, I will also post a link to the track down below, and I'll also post a link to a Rain FX file for it, because that's my first attempt at producing a Rain FX file. So if you are an AC player and you want to have a play around with that, go for it. So thanks very much. Hope you found this video useful, interesting. If you have, please do like and subscribe and hit that bell icon to be notified when future content gets uploaded. Thanks very much. Take care.